right, so keep things on getting messy between Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion, man. So we do have new evidence coming from Tory's rep by the name of Luna. All right, let me just go ahead and play here. All right, this is a
2022. Singer, rapper Tory Lanez convicted of shooting performer Megan Thee Stallion after a party at the Hollywood Hills home of Kylie Jenner. Here's the story. They're at the party. After the party, they get into an argument. Lanez tells Megan Thee Stallion, dance, and shoots at her feet like a cowboy movie, hits her. Proof? Testimony of Megan Thee Stallion, her friend Kelsey Harris, and DNA evidence on the weapon that convinced jurors to convict. Pretty simple, right? Maybe not. Turns out that DNA, only a 0.01% chance that the DNA is from Lanez.
Wow.
He's always maintained his innocence. He was sentenced to 10 years, so this is really about the testimony. Lanez, so what happens? So he goes away, recently stabbed 14 times in prison. Many say it was a hit, okay? Because new evidence is about to come out. All right, a little conspiratorial, but he was definitely stabbed. Lane's supporters believe that the media doesn't care because Megan Thee Stallion is represented by Jay-Z's Rock Nation. Now, I could give a damn about Jay-Z or his company. This just wasn't a case on my radar until now. Why? Anna Paulina Luna. She is a representative from Florida. You see her here on a regular basis. She says she's got new evidence, says it wasn't him. And she joins us now. Representative APL, it's good to have you.
Before that, man. So Tory, I believe he's a resident of from Florida. And the conspiracy about Jay-Z was the one behind Tory getting stopped. We cannot prove it because the guy who actually stopped Tory Lanez said that he thought Tory Lanez was trying to kill him. Let me see if I can go here. Tory Lanez stopped. All right. So this the guy here. In case you haven't seen it. In jail, attacker, I'll say maybe. All right, so this the guy here. So the guy said that he thought Tory Lanez was trying to hurt him. That's why he did it for self-defense. But that's not the point here. Let me go back to the video, all right?
Thanks, Chris. Happy to be back on. And thanks for taking a look at this case.
No, listen, you tell me to take a look at it, I'll look at it. But why did you look at it? I mean, this isn't your jurisdiction. I don't know you to...
Yep.
I'm sorry, man. Before I continue, I kind of noticed, that I think she has her lips done. Her lips looks a little, buff a little bit. But anyhow.
Any connection to any of these people?
Yeah, so as you know, we are on oversight and accountability. And so this case was actually initially flagged for me by Amber Rose. And the reason why I took a particular interest in it is because of the fact that they actually had evidence that they presented to me in my office that actually disproved the conviction. So as you stated earlier, that 0.01% of DNA, they actually found 4 people's DNA on that firearm, none of which was Tory's. Not to mention there was 0 fingerprints on the actual magazine. And also, too, as you said, 0.01% chance. I mean, that evidence in itself should pretty much speak for itself. Also, there's been ring footage that's been obtained that actually disproves the whole dance Megan. And so what we're seeing is really there was a case of he said, she said. The evidence wasn't actually respected and properly adhered to actually in the trial. And then they also were doing something that I would find pretty wild and egregious. They're actually submitting his lyrics for rap as evidence to the crime. So look, first and foremost, you have to have a free and fair society. That means we need to respect and uphold the justice system. So I actually reached out today to Gavin Newsom's office, and we are requesting an emergency meeting. We're also working with other Democrats, specifically to the California delegation. But I think that this is something that's pretty egregious, that the way that this was handled, the way that it was. I think that it was largely driven by headlines. And aside from the people involved and the parties involved, obviously I take domestic violence, I take this very seriously, Chris, but I also take very seriously the fact that I do believe, based on the evidence that I've seen, that Tory's innocent. And I think that it sets a really bad message when you have someone of his stature, and also to someone that is as influential as he is, that's being wrongfully incarcerated. And that's exactly why we wanted to use our megaphone for a good reason and help get him his pardon, which I think he'll get.
So Luna, who did it? I mean, she says and her friends say that
that's a good question, though.
And who else would have done it? And what proof do you have to support that? I get it. Maybe they didn't make the case the right way with the weapon, but who did it?
Somebody did it.
Chris, that's not for me to weigh in, and that's definitely for the judge and the jury. But what I will tell you is based on the evidence that we have. The evidence that we have says that he wasn't the guy. And so I do think that Gavin Newsom has some great attorneys that will look at this, but I'd also like to point out that the prosecutor specifically on this case that initially brought the charges is a very interesting prosecutor. Look into who ran him. And at the end of the day, I think Hollywood, as you know, Chris, and politics does overlap, and there's a lot of interesting stuff that happened there. So look at the evidence for yourself. We've posted it for the entire world to see, to determine for themselves. And I know that Tory's legal team actually has an incredible case. And so we are calling on Gavin Newsom to issue that pardon immediately. And also remember, he was almost killed in jail. I actually talked to him today on the phone, and he said that once he does get out, once he does get this pardon, which I do feel confident that he'll be getting, he's going to work extensively in prison reform, because this should never happen to anyone.
Wow. Anna Paulina Luna, this is a really interesting one. I've never covered a situation like this before, but I appreciate you using your platform, and let the legal team know. We'll be reaching out if they want to come on to make the case. I'm happy to hear it, and we'll check in with the governor's office as well. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah. Of course. And Chris, too, if you want, we can probably connect you with his dad as well. I think it's important for people to know all the facts.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'll check in with you right after the show. Thank you very much. Thank you for...
Oh, man, let me say this, man. This case is a little messy to me. I'm under the impression that Tory's legal team, they did not do a good job. I'm like, if there was no fingerprint on the gun, how you guys gonna get him convicted, though? Like, bro, if that was Brian Steele, he probably won that case for sure. Like, but let's go first. Look, what was he convicted for? All right, what was Tory? Because from what I know, sentenced to convicted. Let me see, convict, sentenced to, not convicted for. From what I know, he was not convicted for shooting a Meg. He was convicted for having the gun. But if the gun has, they say shooting, but okay. But if the gun did not have his fingerprint on it, why y'all gonna get him convicted though? And the legal team let that slide. Another thing is, can they reopen this case, or can they file another lawsuit against Meg the Stallion? Also, from what I heard, it seems like Tory Lane said that, confirmed that was Nicole, who's Meg's friend. Allegedly that's the girl who shot Meg. Tory Lane said that Nicole did not shoot Megan the Stallion. So I'm like, all right, I know you have that culture, you cannot snitch, but yo, if my life's on the line, bruh, I'm snitching on everybody. I don't care. Everybody gonna get snitched. I don't give a F. I'm a snitch on everybody. I don't care. Like, I don't know why y'all always like, yeah, I don't like rats, bro. And Young Thug recently posted something about Kid Cudi, testifying against Diddy, and he said that Cudi's a rat. I'm not sure if it was playing, it was just being, trolling, or just being funny. But, bro, you just be a Rico case. Can you just be quiet? Shut the F up. Be quiet. I'm like, y'all always talk about snitching. Let's say if that was someone like related to you, your loved ones. How would you feel if someone who knows what happened to them, but they don't want to say anything? And if they say something, it's going to help the case. So it's like, yeah, pick and choose. Like, stop that hood shit, man, or snitching. Bro, I'm snitching on I don't care, bro. I don't care. You did something to me. I'm trying to save my life. I'm snitching. I'm not. I don't even think that's snitching. That's telling the truth, though. Nowadays, it's just so messy with these hip hop people. So he was sentenced to 10 years. I think the charges, one of the charges, if I'm not mistaken, what was? Let me see. Let me just Google the charges, right? Because this case, it seems like to me, Tory was fighting with people who were more powerful than him. They're saying Jay-Z, but we cannot confirm it if Jay-Z is behind. Yeah, Rock Nation's the one help Meg the Stallion with the case. I think Alex Spiro was one of the lawyers or was in the legal team. But I'm like, I'm not sure what type of beef Jay-Z has with Tory Lanez. I know Megan Stallion has some type of deal with Rock Nation. So Rock Nation trying to protect the artists, things of the nature, which is fine. But I don't think Jay-Z was like, yeah, we need to put this nigga in jail regardless. I know Jay-Z is powerful, but yeah, man. But you never know, man, because the industry is kind of dirty, man. The industry, it's super dirty. Okay, Tory Lanez was charged and convicted of 3 felony charges stemming from the shooting of Meg Thee Stallion, assault with semi-automatic firearm, possession of a concealed unregistered firearm, and also, as I've been watching the news or reading about this, it seems like he's not the owner of the gun. The gun does not belong to him. Bro, this is messy, man. This is messy. I'm like, yo, why don't like you too rich for this shit, man? Any celebrities out there, you guys are already rich for like to have to keep guns with you, especially when you're going out. Maybe at your house you might have it for protection, but if you're going out, you cannot carry a gun. Have your bodyguard carry that gun for you. All right, have the bodyguard with you, everywhere all the time. Or if you carry the gun, because sometimes, yeah, it's better to carry yourself because you never know, right? But if you do it, make sure you fire that when you really, really need it in case of self-defense. But if it's not for self-defense, bro, don't do that, man. Now, 10 years in prison. He almost lost his life. He got stabbed 14 times, bro. I can just imagine, like, bro, that's a lot, man. One thing I know, Tory is someone that God really selected. It like he has a lot of things to do. He's gonna come out. He's gonna be stronger than ever, I believe. I'm not picking side because none of them, Tory or Meg, they don't even know that I do exist. But I'm just trying to be more logical here, right? It seems like there's a lot of speculation, but he didn't do it. Because if he really did it, those type of speculation will not be coming out after like 2 or 3 years. Things are coming out, evidence, things of the nature. So I kind of believe that maybe he did not do it. Although he was convicted, but we know the justice systems, like, they're not always right. Sometimes they be messing up a lot of things. So yeah, that's about it, man. That's all I have to say about it, man. Other than that, I'll catch you next time. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about this, man. I'll catch you next time. Peace out, family. I'm out.